Hello everyone and welcome to the last panel of BooksDotCon, a peek behind the veil of the industry. Please, could everyone introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Allison Weiss. I'm an editor at Sky Pony Press, which is the children's imprint of Skyhorse Publishing. And I work on everything from picture books to YA.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay. My name is Mikal George, and I am an acquisitions editor at a small press in Utah called Jellyfish Press, and I'm also an author publishing with HarperCollins.
Hey guys, my name is Eric Smith. I'm a literary agent with PS Literary, and I'm also an author with Bloomsbury Spark and Jellyfish.
And, hi, I'm Whitley Abel. I'm an agent with Inkling's Literary Agency, and I'm based out of St. Louis. So, yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. How did you become an agent or an editor? Was it something you always wanted to be, or a career choice that happened later on?
I guess I'm starting. For me, I got bit with the publishing bug when I was in college. I kept finding myself going to the YA section in my bookstore, and I couldn't quite figure out why. And I was looking for a summer job and read this listing of somebody who'd done the internship program at Random House in the children's department, and I said I could read kids' books for a living. That would be the most amazing thing ever. But I was too young, so I applied the next year, and I got in, and from the moment I started working there, it's the only thing I ever wanted to do.
Great. I was actually the president of the Creative Writing Club at my university, and we had the founders of Jellyfish Press come and talk to us. And basically, I kind of bullied them into giving me an internship, so bullied them with my enthusiasm, and because I live in Utah, and there's a lot of great writers and publishing in Utah, but it's not as big as like Boston or New York, and I really wanted to get opportunities where I could, and I've been with them ever since.
Nice. Well, I worked at Cork Books for about 5 years, our publisher here in Philadelphia. I did marketing and social media for them, so I built campaigns for authors and things like that, but I really wanted to work closer with authors and actually work on their writing. But I didn't really want to leave Philly, so finding an editor job was kind of tricky. So you know, when I saw an opening, it opened at PS Literary. I knew a lot of the people there, and I thought it would be a pretty good fit to be able to go out and discover writers on my own who, you know, I thought would be worthwhile and bringing out there. So yeah, that's sort of how it came about, working in publishing and then just sort of you know, shifting careers.
And I actually didn't realize publishing was a thing, which is stupid because I read books my entire life, but somehow didn't think about the business behind it. And so I actually got my master's in teaching and was about a month away from graduating with that, and fully aware I had no desire to actually use that in any capacity, and had been following an author I really liked who had just started working as an agent herself, and basically was just like, I want to do that. That's incredible. So I kind of knew I had to stay in the St. Louis area, so I started looking at remote internships, and I interned for 3 different agencies, PS Literary being one of them, Inklings being my last one, and I basically just worked up from there.
What is a normal day like in your professional life?
There's no such thing as a normal day. Every day I walk to work, so every day I walk with kind of a plan about what I want to try to tackle during the day. I have a very, very extensive to-do list that has lots of things crossed out on it. But basically, the moment I sit down in my chair, those plans go out the window. And it's usually kind of dictated by what hits my desk that really can't wait and I just have to tackle. So it can be anything from negotiating contract to dealing with something with publicity to answering questions for an author to, oh, maybe once in a blue moon I get to edit at work. It's pretty rare.
Yeah, so my day is kind of similar. I actually work part-time at Jellyfish Press, so I'm only there kind of in the mornings. So I have about 4 hours, and it's really similar to Allison. Things just get prioritized. Usually my authors that I work with come first, and then agent emails come second, and then there's also things, with contracts and subrights and with our executive and with our design team, and all those get prioritized. And then usually it's looking with queries, and I can't remember the last time I actually did any editing in the office. It's usually like at home or like on the train that I'm doing actual editing, and then reading, I guess, unsolicited queries and full manuscripts comes usually at the bottom of that list, unfortunately. So I'm perpetually about a month, like 2 months behind on everything I'm supposed to be reading, but that's usually about how the day goes.
I'm probably worse.
Oh man, my day. Well, it's a lot of reading queries and stuff that comes in through the through the agency box. And then most of it's focusing on my current clients, getting through their manuscripts. I'm sort of lucky enough to have signed a bunch of writers that are frequently working on new projects and keeping me very, very busy. I think everybody has a new book right now in my to-read pile. So it's lots of reading, and then once that's done, lots of digging in and editing their stuff. So it's it's very busy, but I like it a lot, and I work at home and it gives me time to play with my dog, so it's good.
Mine's like kind of a mash between Eric and Mikkel's. I actually, since I'm still a newer agent, actually work a full-time job as well, just because I have to. So my day is kind of, I get going in the morning. I spend an hour or two in my inbox dealing with mainly author, anything that's come up, whether I just need to deal with, talking to an editor for them or whatever is the most pressing, and then head to my job for 8 hours. Spend my lunch hour is typically my manuscript reading and query reading time. And then once I'm done for the day, it's reading and emails, and so I'm perpetually behind on all of my to-be-read stuff, too, because it falls to the wayside there. But yeah, it's kind of the same. It's just not a normal, the hours are a little bit different. It's kind of sporadic throughout the day, and then evening and weekends, and basically I do it whenever I can.
Is there something you wish writers knew about agents and editors?
I wish they knew how little time we get during our normal day-to-day to actually do the reading and editing. We know that as writers, you guys love the world of books, and we do too, and that's why we have the kind of dedication to it. But as Mikkel said, I do my reading and editing mostly on the weekends. I'm working probably 7 days a week. I get home from work, and I'm probably reading or editing. So when you don't hear back from us, it's not because we're mean or because we don't care. It's just, it's a lot to stuff into a day.
Yeah, I would totally agree with Allison. I wish people knew that too. And I also wish that they realize that we don't like rejecting people, and we love books, and we love finding good stories, and it really sucks when because I've rejected books that I actually really like, and I don't have room for them on my list, or we just acquired something really similar, or it's just not going to work, like with the timing or something else, but it has nothing really to do with the quality of the book, and it's actually really good writing, and the author sounds really cool. And so I wish that because sometimes I think the idea they just see people like hitting the reject automatic form button again and again and like not caring. But it's really hard to reject people too, and it's hard to reject books sometimes even that you like.
Yeah, I think mine would be to just to not be so scared. I mean, I wish writers knew that agents and editors are, that we need you desperately, and it's not this I don't know, scary process. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a conference and done those like one-on-one pitch sessions or dished out advice, and someone's just like super nervous and really anxious, and it shouldn't be that way. You're just two people having a conversation, trying to make a book baby. It's. I wish writers knew that we're all approachable. We all love the same things. So take it easy.
I agree, and if you're like me, if I'm at a conference, I'm probably just as nervous, if not more nervous than the authors, because not only do I have to, I'm a reader, so not only do I have to take the act of reading and respond to you verbally, but also come up with my thoughts at the same minute to give you feedback, and I chose written word for a reason. I am not a face-to-face conversation person, so I'm terrified of the conferences as well.
Was there ever a time when a relationship with a client didn't go so well? And how did you deal with that?
Sometimes with the best intentions, it's just not a great fit, whether that's as an editor or as an agent. I think the most important thing is that you just have to always be professional at all times. You do what you need to do to work through the problem, but always try to maintain a good working relationship. I don't believe in burning bridges because it's a really small community, and it will all come back around. And you just have to soldier through. And then you learn from your mistakes, and hopefully next time they arise, you make a smart decision.
Yeah, I agree, and sending edit letters is kind of hard. I usually send my first one, which is like anywhere from like 5 to 7 pages of notes about what I would like changed, and I just kind of like be like, and I hope you don't hate me, and like make a voodoo doll and start stabbing me like tonight. Like I kind of like wait for those 24 hours to see if they're totally gonna like want to burn me alive. But I think at least the authors that I choose to acquire are usually part of the reason I want to acquire them is because we get along well and we like our vision for the book matches. There was an author we worked with who her editor left Jellyfish Press and went to a new opportunity, and so her book kind of got passed to me, and it wasn't a book. And I remember I sent that edit letter, and she was furious. She didn't like my ideas at all. But I think it's like Allison said, you just kind of stay professional and kind of take a step back, and make sure that you listen to the author and make sure that you are hearing their needs. And at the end of the day, we ended up switching with an editor who kind of understood her book a little bit better, and it was fine, and everyone kind of moved on and felt okay about it, and it was great. But it happens sometimes that you just don't click that way.
Yeah, I've only had it happen once, since I've started agenting, and I've only been agenting a year. I guess it was more of a learning experience for me in terms of trying to figure out what clients are right to work with. For me, I need to talk frequently with them and be really friendly. And if that kind of relationship isn't quite happening, it's usually a sign that it's not going to work. So now I sort of feel that out when I do those author calls to see if we're actually going to have one of those close relationships. And if it doesn't seem like it, then it probably isn't the right fit.
Yeah, I agree. I've been really lucky with my client list, but it's the original author call is so much more important to me now to actually feel out how it will be and kind of save that, even though I'm intending to save that offer towards the end, because I discuss revision plans on the call, and I discuss how I work with the authors, and so that's really kind of the time to mitigate if there would be a possible problem. So I actually haven't had any, but I agree that, you know, if it does come up, you have to address it from the get-go and address it professionally, and not point fingers or anything like that, I guess.
And on the other hand, do you have any funny stories you'd like to tell? Something interesting that happened with your clients? Anything to leave the bad mood behind?
I'm sure that I have some, but I can't think of any right now.
Or with colleagues?
I'm sorry, Diana?
Or with your colleagues and people from the industry in general?
Oh, I have plenty of funny stories there, but I think my colleagues would kill me if I shared them.
I'm kind of the same way. I mean, it's so funny because I love all of the authors that I sign, but they're each different, and I interact with each of them a little differently. And I think I have some funny stories, yeah, with our just at Jollyfish Press, some of our meetings, but I don't think I should share any of them either. So yeah, moving on.
Okay, I understand.
Eric has no shame.
Yeah, I have one. So for me, you know, I'm a big YA fan, a big reader, and I managed to sign, 3 of my clients already are published YA authors, and I was a really big fan of their books before I was able to pick them up. So, you know, I still have my serious fanboy moments whenever I talk to them. And like those initial author phone calls were full of me, you know, maybe being more of a fanboy than a professional. But I like to think of myself as a fan first and an agent second, so it was okay. And they bust my chops about it, so that's good.
That's kind of our job anyway, right?
Yeah.
No, I think I just finished edits a couple weeks ago with one of my clients, and I mean, maybe not a super funny story, but at one point we were discussing a particular character's plot line, and she ended up, I can't remember how we were discussing it, but she ended up just having to be like, stop being so political for a moment. Like, stop with your thoughts and think of the character, because I was just letting my own like agendas get in the way. So the fact that she had to come out and like point blank say that to me was a little painful and a little bit important too. So yeah.
Which are some of the trends and genres you are tired of seeing, and on the other hand, which would you like to see more of?
Oh, I think I'm still paranormal burnt out, although I have heard from a lot of other people that they're starting to itch for more. I've never been, you know, a big issue book girl, and those continue to go strong. They're just not the right ones for me. On the other hand, I would really, really love to see kind of lighter contemporary come back. I think it's kind of made attempts, but it's not really, I think there's still kind of a stigma in the industry on it. And this is going to sound really weird, but I would love YA Westerns to come into effect. And I just think that's never going to happen.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
You never know.
Allison, have you read Stacey Lee's Under a Painted Sky?
I have not, but I promised Stacey I would.
Oh, it's so good.
Wonderful.
It's really good. And it's a YA Western. Because I agree. I kind of wish they would take off too. I don't know. I see different trends. So I personally, the thing about if you publish or if you acquire a certain amount of book, then that kind of gets known, like you kind of get known for that's the thing you publish. So I've had a lot of YA contemporaries sent to me in the past like 6 months. So I'm getting a tiny bit burnt out on YA contemporaries. And what I love is YA historicals, especially in the 20th century. And I wish I saw, there's a couple that have kind of been creeping up that I've seen people who are either trying to get published or they're coming out soon, like in 2017, and that's LGBT historicals, and I love those, and I think there should be more of them.
Mikkel, just wait for Taurus's time.
Yes, I know. I know. It's already on my list. It's already on my list. I'm so excited for it.
I agree.
Oh man, trends that I don't like. It's hard because I like the trends that I'm not super into. I like it when they sort of get relaunched and spun around a lot. Like vampires kind of bore me, and and zombies and things like that. But then people will do crazy, interesting things and sort of renew that genre a bit. I don't know if there's any trends I get tired of. I hate books that are like portal fantasies, where it's like they touch something and then they go somewhere. I like, I don't know, I kind of get irritated when it's like, we went back in time because of reasons, and there's not like a reason. So I get I really don't like. But stuff I'd like to see more of, I really want to see more YA horror. Just so bad. Like, I love, there's an author named Kim Lidgett, I think that's how you pronounce her last name. She has a book called Blood and Salt out. That was one of my favorite books of last year. And yeah, I'm just so hungry for more YA horror. It's a lot of fun.
I agree on that one. I think I put that request out, I think, multiply on Twitter. One of the things that I in young adult anyway that I wish I didn't see as much of, and just because I think it was so big for a while, is like boy meets X meets girl with Y. And so it's not quite sicklet, but the different diversities, and I'm very I want diversity, but it just seems almost gimmicky sometimes when it's just this and this thrown together. So I wish I was seeing things that are more organic than that, and more inclusive. And then I'm a big fan of sci-fi, but I feel like I keep seeing kind of The Minority Report and even More Happy Than Not, kind of very, very similar stories over and over. So I really wish I saw something new in that. And I don't even know where sci-fi can go from where it's already gone, but I wish I saw new. And then just things that I wish I saw more of, I don't know, I'm a huge nerd, so I wish I saw more of the fangirl, really nerdy stories that the readers can find themselves in. I want that, and I want more humor. I feel like I haven't been laughing enough lately in books I'm reading, so I want a lot more humor. If there's a Forgetting Sarah Marshall for younger readers, I want that on my desk today.
I've asked this question on all the other panels because people love it. So, do you have any book recommendations from either your clients or people you just really admire, recent or coming out soonish?
So I always feel weird singling out my authors because inevitably I just want to list all of them. So we're not going to do that. I really loved Circus Mirandus, and I think that everybody should read that book.
Well, I am going to recommend my clients shamelessly. Jerkbait by Mia Stewart came out just in May, and I love it. I still love it. It's about two twin brothers who are hockey players, and one is coming out. So it's funny, Whitley, I just read a really funny contemporary YA called Scarlett Epstein Hates It Here. I was laughing every 20 or 30 pages. So if you're looking for a good, just funny, happy book, I recommend that one. And also, it's not YA, but I just finished Jane Steele, which is a gory, murderous retelling of Jane Eyre, which was a lot of fun and really good, especially if you like Jane Eyre. So those are mine.
Let me see. I finished last month. I read this book, Meet Me Here by Brian Bliss. I feel like it hasn't been getting a lot of attention, and I think it's a really just really wonderful contemporary YA book about a teen that sort of feels like he's forced into going into the military and has to wrestle with his borderline emotionally abusive father and his brother who's back from the military suffering from just terrible PTSD. And it's just really beautiful, really quiet kind of YA book, and I really like those a lot. This month, Autofocus by Lauren Garibaldi came out. actually, there's a blurb from me on the back from my author life, and it's this really gorgeous YA contemporary about adoption and trying to figure out where you fit in the world. I'm adopted, so it has some like hard-hitting bits for me, and I really loved it. And one that's coming out in September is As I Descended by Robin Talley. I have it sitting right here. It's basically like LGBTQ Macbeth with magic at a school.
That sounds awesome.
Oh my god, she's so great at like having everything I want in one book. So it's like reading Rainbow right now. I'm just like.
Not exactly a newer book, but I just recently finished. Oh my gosh, The Rest of Us Just Live Here.
Oh yeah.
I think it's Patrick
Great
Ness. So good. it took paranormal and made it exactly what I wanted to see that I was never seeing. And then like my big rec right now, it's kind of a goofy book, but I just keep recommending it to everyone, is Kill the Boy Band, because I was a huge like cult classic fan growing up, like Heathers and Jawbreaker, and I feel like we don't see that as much, although I guess with Scream Queens it kind of came back, but just that really like almost like kitschy kind of humor with like the thrillerness to it. Like I love that, and it's so funny, and like the voice is just so realistic to the teens. It was awesome.
A question I got from the audience. What are your thoughts on trying to diversify the industry more and creating more remote opportunities, like internships?
I'm all for that. I think the more voices that we have on the selecting side in terms of editors and agents, the better reflections we're going to see. I think we need to be continuing to tackle diversity on every single level of publishing. So everything that I can and we can do.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think diversity is hugely important, and I love that it's getting a lot more attention now than it has in the past in the industry. And I can't remember who was talking about it before, because I think it is hugely important, especially own voices and giving people, not just authors, but also agents and editors and everyone in the industry a chance to represent these different diverse backgrounds. I also think it's tricky because you want to make sure that it doesn't stray into the realm of just becoming trendy and like another kind of sticker to put on your manuscript as a reason for it to sell, and to truly represent those voices like with integrity and honesty.
Yeah, I really agree with the industry needing to become more diverse. I feel like it starts there as much as it does with actually having the books that are diverse, having editors that are diverse, agents. I think that'll definitely help. On my side of things, I love just like skimming through the own voices hashtag and finding stuff in there. So it's I'd love to see more of those remote opportunities happen, as well as more people getting hired at publishing houses.
I completely agree. I mean, I scroll through the own voices and DV Pit, and I look for those, but sometimes maybe I'm not I'm not the most diverse person, so maybe I'm not if I try to edit, maybe my suggestions aren't that great. So I'm glad that we're getting more voices, not only at the writer side, but at the agent and editor side of it too, because I think that's important. We need to have it all the way through and not just the writers that we're requiring. And as far as the remote options go, I think that's great. I mean, that's entirely how I came up, so I think that's awesome for anyone that does it.
Yeah. Yes, it is. That's all the questions I have. I don't know if anyone wants to add anything about anything at all. It's the last. It's the last panel. It's the last panel of the convention. So
The convention was awesome.
thank you. Thank
Thanks
you.
so much, Diana, for pulling it together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
And everything is going to be available on YouTube forever and ever for free. So
Oh God.
people can check that out there. And if anyone has questions, they can tweet at us, and we'll try to get to it. So thank you, all of you, for being here and for being so amazing and sharing this little moment with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, good job.
Wait, we do have
Question.
one more question. We do have one more question
Yay.
from Katie
good.
Locke. Yeah, it's similar to the one I asked. How can we diversify the gatekeepers in the industry from agents to editors to marketing to sales?
I think the industry can do better about hiring. I think that we need to make more of an effort to recruit. I think that there's kind of a lack of knowledge about some of the different roles of publishing. And so I think it's just as much our job to be championing our authors as to be championing the industry, and that this is a career path that that you may want to engage in. So, you know, any way that's possible, whether it's through social media, whether that's going to career panel days at universities. You know, I'm very involved in my alumni group, and there's a section where students can go contact people in different industries to ask questions about those things. You know, I think any opportunity to open up knowledge about the industry is a way to potentially broaden that path.
Yeah, I agree, because I think it would be so great if we could, and I don't know if I personally have the right answer, but I think just broadcasting that, you know, your background, whatever it is wanted in the industry, and just making an effort, you know, kind of like Allison said, to just get the word out there and to broadcast that would go a long way.
Yeah, and you know, when it comes to what Allison was saying, hiring those people, like getting those interns and opening up those opportunities is so important. And hopefully, like I'd love to see some effort made in terms of these conferences and writing events that cost so much money to go to. See them, I don't know, offer up. I don't think scholarships is the right word, but you know, something for people that can't quite afford to go to these $200, $300, $400 conferences where all this great networking happens. Making them that expensive definitely pushes out you know, a big piece of the audience. Someone like me would not have been able to afford anything close to that while I was growing up. So I'd love to see some movement there. I think events like this that are, you know, free and online and everything are a good step in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing them to places would also be really fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have that much to add. I feel like everyone else has kind of said anything, but just like putting the opportunities out there and being vocal that I guess that we as the industry are open to it, because I feel like sometimes it comes across as like, yes, we want diversity, but not really, if that makes sense. So I guess just continuing to say, like, we want diversity in all forms, and we want it in every single part of our industry, and not just in our authors or illustrators, but every single facet throughout the process and every job.
Okay, so that was the last question. Really, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this, and for your time, really. I really appreciate it. So, thank you everyone for watching, and
Great,
goodbye.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.